Hey, folks, welcome to Affiliate Nerd Out. I am your nerderator, Dustin House. Spread that good word about affiliate marketing. You're going to find me every Tuesday and Thursday here on LinkedIn Live, hanging out with industry folks. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel or the LinkedIn Live sessions here. My nerd guest today is Blagitza Boteliero.
You got it. Amazing. Good job. Good job.
Digital marketer and practitioner and super nerd. I see her so much in Martech Record, nerding out with me and other folks. Just such a pleasure to have you. Welcome to the Nerdatorium here.
Thanks, Dustin. Good
Awesome.
times.
I've heard you are a fan of the show, and that's kind of how we got here. I had to beg you a few times to come on, but I'm so glad we got here. We are going to have some live Q&A in the chat, so jump in. Ask us any questions you want about affiliate marketing. We're happy to talk about it. But, Blagitza, without further ado, who are you?
Well, hey, Dustin. So my name is Blagitza Boteliero, as you mentioned, and currently I am helping out the family business as the head of marketing and co-founder of Bottles Nation, which is the virtual wine and beer tasting business I started with my husband years ago, and taking all of the digital practices and whatnot with blowing that out. At the same time, really getting a sense of what's changed in the digital and affiliate space this summer, and really diving into different tools and understanding who's doing what and what's changed at the same time. So it's been quite the last few months as we've kind of been a combination of nerding out on beer, wine, and also digital and affiliate practices.
Awesome. And your experience in this industry, how far does that stretch back, and what are some of your notable attributes in the affiliate world?
For sure. Gosh, it goes back to 2001 when I was at Orbitz and I was on the first e-marketing team at Orbitz, and then I launched the affiliate program back when it was Linkshare. So it was funny back then because all the travel clients, so networks have similar vibes right now, whereby certain networks of certain industries, and back in the day, Linkshare had no travel within their sphere. So Orbitz was over at Linkshare. That was kind of a big old deal. And then after that, I've worked within different companies like Edelman, Motorola. I led social media for them and for Target for a bit. And then I came back into the affiliate space late in 2021, working with clients like Princess Cruises and Johnston and Murphy and Lint. And it's been a ride, and really just seeing the way that publishers have changed. And for me, the biggest kind of fun piece of it all is to see the technology change and how different types of tech stacks have come into the space. But the reason why I decided to come back into it fully was what I was telling Dustin earlier, the ping pong game of public relations, influencer marketing, affiliate marketing, digital marketing, and how it all plays together.
Beautifully said. And one more thing on your profile that I have to ask about is this Emmy Award winner. It's on your
Yeah,
LinkedIn profile. Like
yeah.
that's not something I see every day.
I do have an Emmy. I'm not currently in my home right now, else I would show it to you. But I do have an Emmy for my work. When I was in Chicago, I was part of the NBC5 content team, and we covered a festival for 24 hours, and we received an Emmy for that work. The Emmy is the whole title is Emmy for New Media and Interactivity. So I have that, and I walk around the house with it sometimes. I actually put it next to me, but no, for real. During award shows like the Grammys or the Emmys or the Oscars, I actually put the Emmy next to me on the couch and I just put my arm on it and I feel cool.
It's amazing. You drinking with it. It's your drinking buddy. I would actually make a necklace out of it if I could, like just hanging
Same.
around me.
Like,
Yeah,
wait. From the guy from Public Enemy. What's his name?
I don't know. I don't
No,
know
the guy.
that.
He's got a watch. He's got a watch. Some people watching will know who I'm talking about. I'll think of it. He's got a
Flavor
watch.
Flav.
Flavor Flav.
All
Yes,
right.
that's the thing. Thank you.
Oh, I guess I knew it. Awesome. Uh, Blagitza is a guest on us on our profile today. You can check it out in the chat. If you would like to be on Affiliate Nerd Out with me, come be my best go ahead and click this QR code up here at the top, or go to dustinhouse.com/nerd and sign up and see if we can't nerd about something else. So tell me about what you're doing right now and who you're servicing out there.
Yeah, so as I mentioned at the beginning of the opener, I've really been focusing on using all of the tools within the digital space in the last few months to really build out the content and our clients with the virtual events we've been doing for the last couple of years. So my husband's a sommelier. We launched it together during COVID. I built the whole thing by myself behind closed doors. He's been running it since I went back within the space, and I took a pause to come back and help him. But at the same time, I've been working with brands and folks, helping them, just kind of understand the pinch hitting piece of affiliate marketing,
Hmm.
just how to get started. Does it make sense for them to even get into affiliate marketing, or even understanding different publisher types, whether it's, what's loyalty mean, what does a closed network mean, and helping define some of those pieces for those clients.
Fantastic. And you've already got a fan. This LinkedIn user says, Blagitsa rocks. How about that?
Thanks.
Identify yourself, LinkedIn user. I don't know why you're not showing up, but say hi again. I don't know why that happens on
Maybe it's a
Restream
secret.
every once in a while.
Maybe it's a secret admirer, Dustin. I've got like a secret admirer someplace in LinkedIn land.
Oh,
Maybe.
okay. Yeah. Well, I'm sure you've got many. Uh, Nothing new for an Emmy Award winner. I mean, uh, who wouldn't be? Uh, so your passion marketing goes way back beyond my years. Yeah.
No, I got you. You're frozen. You're back.
Back yet?
Yeah, I see you. You're good. You're good.
Oh no, we're on Struggle Street today.
No,
Computer.
it's you.
Okay, cool.
It's all good. It's all good.
Uh, Affiliate marketing. Time is just on Struggle. Okay. ABC affiliate marketing. Everybody knows how easy this game is. Tell us like how your approach to affiliate marketing and the clientele that you've had, telling them how how it's going to take some time and like that talk track that
Yeah.
many of us agency owners are accustomed to.
So I am really known for being a realist about the space, a happy realist, a positive realist, in that I think there's this perception still with affiliate marketing that, like thinking about the days at Motorola, for example. I remember when we were getting a social listening tool signed up and I had to beg procurement to approve me getting a social listening tool, and it took forever. But as soon as I got the tool blessed, there was expectation of it to work within a week or two. I'm seeing a lot of this in the affiliate space, whereby a client or brand gets approval or they finally have affiliate marketing start. They pick a network or they need help picking a network and they might expect sales to happen immediately. I always tell clients you got to give it at least 2-3 months for traction. Now there are some, heavy hitters that, could work immediately for you to get you traffic and to assist with sales. It may not be the immediate type of traffic you want, because everyone I've spoken to will say to me, okay, cool, I want the content sites. Well, what do you mean by content? Like, let's talk about that. What do you mean? Do you mean like Wirecutter? Do you mean, the editor for Forbes Tech? Or do you mean like the amazing, you know, 2,000 follower Insta person who's talking about polka dot shirts, who can rock this, this post for you about your polka dot shirt? And clients aren't expecting that answer. Here's why. Then they'll say, I don't know what you mean, which triggers for me an educational moment whereby they don't know how deep the affiliate publisher type is. They don't understand how deep it is, because they're reading Ad Age, which is fantastic, a fantastic pub, but they're reading a larger marketing pub, and they'll hear like a success story within the affiliate space, aka performance marketing, the new word du jour, and they assume they can turn that on for them instantly. So they don't understand. Like they don't understand why if you take brand X and you say brand X discount, brand X coupons. Come on, Dustin. I know you're shopping for some Giants gear, and you might do the same thing on Google and say, discount, Giants gear, for example.
All right.
The SEO results are going to pop up, right? You got Google list of SEO results. Time and time again, there's a high likelihood that an affiliate is a result within that listing, like a coupon cabin or like love coupons or whatever it may be. And clients are going to want to show up there because that's the traffic driver. But then when you and I'm telling this happens in the same meeting I have with a client, all this stuff comes up. It's like a choo-choo train and a domino effect. But then the client will say to me, well, I don't want to be on coupon sites. And I'll say, okay, but your brand just popped up in SEO results. Don't you want to be there for the sale? But then here's what happens. The search person at the brand gets ticked off because the affiliate is doing a better job in SEO than the brand is. So then you have this conflict that my client contact brought up the fact that they want to be on a coupon site, but then another colleague of theirs, I've been there, I lived it, another colleague will say, well, no, you're taking away budget from what I'm doing. And it starts this perpetual circle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I always try to ask the basic questions and try to come back with responses because just witnessed how one question you had for me resulted in so many nuances. It can be frustrating for someone or a new client if there's all of these if then statements when everything is new to them. So my recommendation is always to understand what do they know, what do they not know, and come back with a visual. Come back with okay, you said you don't want coupon sites. Cool. Here's how your brand is appearing in search.
Mm-hmm.
So how does this affect what's going on with your search engine marketing team or agency? And I say this, Dustin, because I find one of my challenges in our space is I'm fortunate and so thankful that I have like this wicked deep experience in digital marketing. I used to launch pop unders when I was at Orbitz. People loved me back then. I interrupted all of your internet searches with my wonderful pop-up games. And so I understand how the crux of it works. Because I know how that works, I've been that client and can understand all the difficulties around their cubicle of all the colleagues they're dealing with. Our job as practitioners is to make that client or that brand be a rock star, make them as educated as possible and defend what we're doing. Because if you don't have an educated client or brand internally, you are going to spin more of your wheels trying to defend what you're doing or defend the practice in the industry. And then it becomes a frustrating situation. I've had situations where clients will say to me, we're taking money away from the search team, or paid social needs more budget. Well, I'm more efficient, but paid social saw that there's no incremental coming through because of Honey and Rakuten. Explain that, and it
Mm-hmm.
goes into another circle. So the more you know about their challenges and what they don't know, I always recommend to folks watching now or later, pause the conversation and the client will respect you more for coming back with responses and a visual versus rambling, which I kind of just did, to be honest with you.
Well, I'd love to hear you elaborate on your counter argument for honey being incremental. Like, how are they driving incremental value for the program? What's your answer to that?
My answer, Dustin, my honest answer is I don't know. I'm
Okay.
not going to know. Well, tell the client if you give me access to all your analytics, I can tell you. Because 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 some clients still don't want to give access to analytics.
Yeah.
If you have a client who wants to start an affiliate program, and if they won't give you access to analytics, you have to say thank you drive through. Because you're I think you're doing a disservice to yourself and to the client and to the consumer. Because at the end of the day, I know this sounds really cheesy, naive, and blah blah blah, but I wouldn't be in advertising or marketing if I didn't believe it. The consumer at the end of the day is who we're servicing, straight up, especially this economy, especially what we're seeing with Q4 retail projections and whatnot. You have to do right by the consumer. So if you don't have access to the analytics, going back to honey, and let's be real, I am a Rakuten user. Thank you for my money back for back to school shopping and my holiday shopping. So we have to remind the client and the client's coworkers that they're consumers. Don't tell me that they're not going to Google or they're using a cookieless code from a TikToker or Instagrammer to buy that kitchen tool or that beauty tool or whatever for the backyard, like a new leaf blower. Everyone is. So we have to remind people that we are consumers. So when it goes back to honey, I don't know. And I'd have to say, let me have access to your analytics, but also incremental is important, but I would argue that honey is a certain part of the funnel that helps with loyalty and helps with brand recognition
Mm-hmm.
to then keep the consumer coming back. So yeah, there's a good chance with honey and Rakuten, it's repeat people. Okay, cool. But would you have gotten the sale if you were on honey and Rakuten? And can the client accept the fact that it's part of a larger holistic approach to marketing? A la if you're buying a billboard, if you're doing a Super Bowl ad, well, maybe not as much Super Bowl ad these days, if you're doing a billboard or doing any other type of ad for awareness and impressions, and people still use impressions, if you're doing that, why can't I have honey and why can't I have Rakuten helping with loyalty and repeat? When I flip that back to them, sometimes it stumps them, but
Okay.
sometimes it's that's none of your concern. I get it because it's not our industry or our world. Um, I see a question. Should I
Oh
answer too?
yeah, I was gonna ask one right before
Oh
that
yeah, go
to
ahead.
get into that. Like, would you take on this new client and you say analytics first, or I walk, essentially? What are those first steps you're gonna take once they do like hire you on and say, yeah, let's get this going? You look at the analytics and what do you do with it?
So I look at the analytics of what's happening at that moment, and ideally, I ask the client if I can interview, and this gets touchy because might be tough, if it's possible to interview the client in depth and other members of their team.
Okay.
Help me understand, or if they don't want me to speak to anybody else, which is cool, I get it, I was there. Do you have your PR campaign? Do you have your launch calendar for the year? Can you show me any, this one's a little tricky, but social listening. Can the client give you access to social listening reports?
Hmm.
What's been the tone of the brand? The tone of the brand. I worked with a client once that had really, really bad PR before we worked with them, before our time. Things were fine, it was good to go, but the SEO on their PR articles were so bad, it wouldn't help us it just it is what it is. So I feel that even though affiliate marketing is this piece of this hub and spoke, it's affected by so much. So the more you can, and I think it also shows the client that you really want to get to know them. You want to
Mhm.
get to know their brand. You want to get to know their industry. Look, going back in time, I was an advertising major. Sometimes my stories get long-winded, but they have a point. And I was supposed to work for Ogilvy and Mather in New York. I won this rotational year-long job out of school, ended up moving to Chicago instead. But I was in this meeting where you meet all these different executives, and this one guy, I'm like, so what do you do? And he goes, I watch people eat chocolate all day. So I'm in college. I'm like, what? And I think it was Hershey or their client was a chocolate brand. He was an account planner. So he's like, oh yeah, you'd be surprised at how people eat their chocolate on the subway. Some eat a cube. I actually have some chocolate here. He was talking about people break it, they this. He went through the science like Nova on PBS for you old guys and ladies about chocolate. So going back to affiliate marketing in this conversation, we need to work through the consumer journey. We
Hmm.
have to understand for a brand how are they buying. This is not an ad for any of these products, I just have them on my table. How is the consumer buying an RX bar? Like what drives them to the RX bar? Is it because they're at the grocery store, then they see someone on TikTok? And that also goes into affiliate marketing. So I'd really ask the client if they can give me a treasure trove like the man behind the machine in Wizard of Oz. Show me everything so I can consume it and understand you better.
Sure. I mean, how many? You would think that would be in somewhere in their training. of new employees that come on board, but so often it's not even there. And this is a part of things that I just rely on myself to try to go and get a firsthand impression of each brand that I work with in this capacity before I even ask them to show me what they think of themselves or how they want to be
Oh, that's
branded.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's an important aspect of it. But I love that first step that, you have to learn about that brand before you dig in. You can't, affiliate is different for every single brand that you work with.
Totally.
And you can't learn that until you figure out what kind of brand you're working with. So I'm going to put up this question.
Yep.
How do you develop a realistic affiliate program forecast for advertisers launching a program for the first time? Great question. I think that is Yitza, but it
Hey,
could be some.
Yitza. Hey, girl. Um, I love Yitza. So that's also a loaded question, but a good one.
Hmm.
Because the client is going to expect a formula. The client is going to expect A plus B is C. Like, nope. You have to take a step back and first look at their sales. I look at their sales and I first ask them, do you have a revenue growth metric you need this quarter, this year? It also varies, honestly, dude, in terms of the kind of client they are. Are they a startup? Are they a new challenger brand you're always seeing on TikTok and Facebook via paid ads? Do they have a bunch of investor cash and they have to hit a certain level within 6 months? Let's take two brands, for example. Let's say it's an established brand that's never had affiliate marketing before. Cool. Look at what their total sales are for all their other marketing channels. In general, the industry standard from what I've, understood and what I've seen is affiliate marketing typically I've seen is between 10 to 20% of revenue for all e-marketing coming in.
Okay.
That's what I've seen in my experience. So I take a chunk of that to understand, okay, based on what you're doing now revenue wise, first, can all the different channels cannibalize the other? Meaning, if you're working with influencers, how could that cannibalize the affiliate program, for example? Well, let's say they all have their distinct place. I'd start at 10 to 20%. Then I'd help them understand of the funnel, where are you in the funnel? Like, what do you want from affiliate marketing funnel? Is it top of the pike, awareness, or do you want conversion right away? Why do I ask that? I had a travel client who, for them, believe it or not, success was actually clicks. It wasn't conversion.
Okay.
They wanted traffic to the site. And what's enlightening and what's refreshing about affiliate marketing that's finally changing a bit is that you have digital marketing people or folks who come from that world who actually are relying slowly on affiliate marketing to also drive traffic, not just conversion. So
Uh-huh.
once you know what their goals are they an established brand or challenger brand? What their current sales are? If you're looking at 10 to 20%, once it ramps up, phrase, once it ramps up, then you can start developing strategies across that funnel based on different types of sites to get them there. And I always tell them at least 2 to 3 months to get ramped up because it depends too on how aware the consumer is of the brand. I
Uh-huh.
mean, if I'm like, okay, here's some Pixel Buds. If I'm the Google Pixel Buds, people know what this is. That should be, kind of easy. But if it's a product no one's heard of, it's going to take longer just to build awareness. Think about that. If you've never heard of something for your house and they claim they can do X, Y, Z, it's going to be harder to buy it unless you have proof points. And the clients will get that over time. That's why things like influencers or content, articles, reviews, whatever can help.
Great points there, and super important. I always say 20%. That's a pretty good, easy staple to be saying, but I never say if I want the client to get excited, I'm like, think about 20% additional revenue 12 to 24 months down the line if you're doing everything
Oh
right.
yeah, that's I like that. Yeah.
And the 10% can come in 6 months if you're really getting after it and you have that brand awareness with the brand you're working with. But if you don't, if you are on that challenger brand side, your early efforts are going to be gaining more brand awareness, and the influencers might be a better route to be going early on so that we can gain some traction and some statistics to show the bigger content sites that we mean business as a brand. So
It's so
uh,
great that you, but it's great that you get that reception too. That when you tell a client like 6 months to a year, that's that. I mean, do you ever get any pushback of like 6 months? Like, what do you ever have you experienced that pushback on your end when clients, are expecting like revenue to happen like yesterday?
I've never had the experience of pushback as long as I set the expectation early. If you
Yeah,
forget
yeah,
to do that before you take on the client and you just get started without telling them this is going to take 6 months, in 2 months, they will inevitably ask, why aren't all the sales here? Well, this takes 6 months. And now
yeah,
you're in a bad spot. So setting
totally.
those expectations are extremely important when you're taking on those new clients. So, great question, Yitza. Thank you for jumping in. What about senior practitioners? Is something
Hmm.
I heard you mention. Tell
Yeah.
me what you define as a senior practitioner, and how do you even gain this status?
Gosh, I think it's based on, different definitions, but I feel as if, there's been people who've been around the industry for a while, and some of them may not just be practicing as much. Meaning, a senior practitioner to me is someone who knows most of the networks, if not all the networks, in some way, shape, or form, has a really good deep list of publisher contacts, but also not just from an affiliate marketing perspective, but a bit of digital marketing as well, to fully get deep into understanding a client, as we mentioned before, and rolling up their sleeves and doing the work. So, for example, not just being senior enough to know the top, 10 publishers and the SVPs of commerce content on those sides, but to really sit with new staff or junior staff and say, okay, I'm going to show you how to place a link in ShareSale. I'm going to walk you through how to work through refunds and bad sales and how to
Yep.
do that type of exchange. That's what I mean by senior practitioner. And because there's so many tools, and even I I'll forget things, but I'll know that each network has a tool or a place where I can go find it and learn it quickly. That's easy. That didn't exist years before, so there's no excuse. So if you're a senior practitioner as well, and you can't memorize everything, even if you're starting out, there's still an easy way to find how to do the thing, whether it is through videos, tutorials, training. There's a treasure trove right now. And I do have to give hats off to the networks. And it maybe I'm a bit, envious, a little jealous of how things are now versus before. There's just so many tools available to anyone starting out, or who's like me, was gone for a bit but came back and to kind of jump back into it. It's great that the tools are there. From what Martech Record has in terms of those great Zoom sessions to the PMA, and Trish, shout out to Trish and the amazing work that the PMA has been doing with understanding FTC guidelines and the ins and outs behind it. Like, everyone, if you haven't consumed that content, you should, because that's fantastic. The other day, Adam Weiss, what's going on, Adam? Adam put together this great quarterly update of all these publishers and categorized.
Mhm.
That didn't exist before. Whether it's Rakuten or PXA having different training. I know, Dustin, you have training tools that you put together as well for people. There's just no excuse to not learn and understand if you want to be successful in this space, especially if you're starting out. So use the tools. Back in the day, I had 6 computers set up at work to test different downloads.
That's hilarious.
That's what we did, and there was no playbook. It was me going down to the IT floor at Orbitz and begging the guys to make me a widget. So the big news back then was we made an Orbitz widget, like a booking engine. It was rich media. So affiliates can like grab this code and place it on their site and book a ticket right from this booking engine. That was a big deal. It didn't exist back then. Like, having the capability to do it wasn't as easy.
Yeah. I used to use multiple computers over at CJ when we were testing for fraud, and like
No,
all the toolbars, we would have to classify them as legitimate or not, and we would have to this uh, really bad computer in the dark room that would be there for testing just in case there is, you know, the pop unders and all
Right.
the malware that you would download with this. We were testing for all of that, and
Mhm.
that was a very interesting game. Now I want to go back a little bit. Something you said that caught my attention, and like the senior progression, like getting into the senior practitioner takes consistent learning throughout your career. And I don't know what this thing is, but it feels like uh, in our line of work, affiliate managers that get 2 to 3 years experience all of a sudden think that they know everything. And I feel like I went through that phase in my career as well, where I thought, hey, now I can be CMO. I just need the opportunity. But in reality, the more you start learning about this industry, the more you recognize how little you actually know. And
Mhm.
why do you think that happens for those junior marketers that are just getting their career rolling?
That's a really good question. I think it's because I think it's because when you're in this wonderful room of affiliate marketing, after 2 3 years, you really do have your sea legs because you're getting some wins, you know who the players are, you're getting some conversions, you're getting some case studies, and woohoo, awesome sauce. But there's another element to that when it comes to strategy and when it comes to higher level discussions and negotiations with senior people at that brand side or at companies in general that comes with time. But then there's also this element after 2 3 years, you might know the affiliate space kind of well. But this is where I find the missing black hole, where you really see, to your point, this this belief of going to certain titles is not understanding digital marketing.
Mm,
I have to say it because you're going to start having these higher end discussions, or you're going to try and have these higher end discussions with clients about. Okay, let's take an example. I'm an affiliate manager for 3 years working on lipstick, beauty, and I've got a beauty client, and we're killing it. We have influencers. We're getting the best placement in Wirecutter. All the female content sites love us. We're killing it. Affiliates killing it. 2 3 years in, I should be VP, so on and so forth. But that affiliate manager is exposed to the beauty client for this one thing. There's a whole other
yes.
element. There's this whole other element within that brand that this manager is not even seeing or even maybe wanting to know, whether it's all like, is this person leaving money on the table because they don't realize that, like, PR is getting $200,000 because the impressions are great, and they could take 50,000 of those dollars to do paid placements over here? Are they not skilled enough to ask the question about how is your paid social doing, to see if that makes sense? Are they not experienced enough to ask the client, are you doing programmatic ads? Which I don't have the biggest faith in programmatic ads as much these days,
Hmm.
but it helps the traffic depending on the programmatic. But in theory, could they possibly be getting more dollars for slotted placements over on the affiliate side because they understand what the client's dealing with over here? If the client is about to launch a new palette, for non-beauty people out there, a palette is like, you got eyeshadows and lipsticks and blushes on the palette. If the affiliate marketer after 2 3 years kind of knows to launch this product with these 6 influencers and these 2 magazines, what are they missing from the other elements of the client's doing to have those strategic discussions? I find that because I've had that depth of experience on the digital side, I may not play in those areas with the client, but I
Hmm.
understand and can have those in the back of my head to enhance what's happening on the other side. Um,
Absolutely.
that's
And
that's why I think.
like you can't undervalue that experience of getting that digital marketing help. Like go out and buy a course on affiliate marketing and get in the shoes of an affiliate and what they're having to go through.
Right.
Then you can really empathize with the kind of work it takes to build a piece of content that you're trying to outreach and get them to do instantly and get on their content calendar. Like you never understand that aspect until you understand from the side of the affiliate. And in the digital marketing realm. There's lots of places that you can get that education, but the most important thing is to go out and continue your education. Learn for those mentors that can teach you, and that's why I suggest going to, why is it not showing? Performance marketing manager.
Performance marketing manager. I'll be
uh,
your Vanna White.
Thank you very much. This is my course teaching all the secrets that I know about affiliate and performance marketing and piling it into a large course that you can get access to me and my community and be a part of something special. So if you need some education, go check out performancemarketingmanager.com. And switching gears now, I want you to defend your post here. It's that time of the show.
Oh boy.
Yep. I caught this earlier from. Oh no, I don't. I don't think I have it. Did I not add it? Yeah. Nope. I added it in the wrong spot. Give me a second while I upload this for.
No worries. Until then, I'll just razz you on being a Giants fan.
Oh, you mentioned like buying Giants gear at a discount price. I actually like to pay full price on all
That's
of my
a good
gear.
fan.
Yes, exactly, because
That's
I
a
want to
good.
support the system. I don't want anybody stealing a commission
Oh
in
yes.
my name.
I
All
love
right,
this one.
so I think Gen X is better
Yep.
positioned to create businesses and ideas better than
Yes.
previous generations. Why? Because the rigor and expectation in
Hmm.
terms of on-job contribution, Gen X has a solid sense of hard work, putting in the time, and being uncomfortable.
Yes.
Defend your post
I
here.
defend it. I will defend it. I will defend it because Gen X came up, and I know there's always like these Gen Ys against Gen X and Gen Zs and whatever, but I thoroughly believe that, I'm also a mom and I have two kids. I'm
Okay.
also married. So I feel that the Gen X generation, thinking back to when I was in school, it was literally get out of school, get a job, put your head down, crank and crank and crank and zip it and crank. And I think about those days when I was at Orbits and other places. I was sleeping at my desk. I just did the thing. I put in my time. I learned. I observed. I was in boardrooms with people who were way senior than me, learning how they spoke, learning how they talked, learning how to negotiate, learning how to challenge. And I was humble. And I really do feel that a Gen X person, especially a mother, is able to balance so much. And I feel the sense of having to pull my fellow Gen X friends out from their desks. What I mean by that is I've always been a learner and doer and content creator all the time. And I'm so thankful that my career has been in this box because I have no choice but to learn. But I'm finding my Gen X counterparts like, oh, I don't have time, or I'm just done for the day at 6. But I really have a passion for X. I really have a passion for Y. Like I'm a phenomenal, whatever it may be. But it's so exhausting to kind of, you're in this time where you have children, kids are in college, you're cranking, you have a mortgage, and you're exhausted.
Yes.
So there's no time to do the extra stuff. And I get that. I get that. However, if Gen X can just see that the same sweat, blood, and tears that they put into the full time gig working for someone and learning new traits and tools and things after 5:30 or on the weekend, as difficult as it can be, is so amazing and can really take you further in whatever you want to do. I know it's easier said than done. I've got a really supportive spouse. I've always been the way I've been since we were dating and we got married. I don't know any other way, but I see all the, especially for example, dude, Chat GPT, that alone from a content creation standpoint or synthesizing data or reports, helping someone just manage stuff a lot better, whether it's finance or whatever it may be, convincing my Gen X friends to use Chat GPT more just to help, that's been life changing for some people. So yes, I still do think that Gen X, if keyword though, key phrase, if they're willing to put that same time in, that they put the time into their initial 8 to 5, would just do so well. But it's hard when you're in like a habit, family, mortgage, bills, college. It's a lot.
Well, let's not just forget wasting time on social media. Like if you compile all the
Yeah.
time you waste flipping up and scrolling through,
Yes.
it probably easily 30 minutes a day that you could be spending towards your future
Yes.
and business of something of the nature. And for those of you that are out there like trying to figure out what they don't want to do with their life and try to get some residual income, I am always open and willing to have that conversation and point you in the right direction. I am telling people not to create an agency right now. Don't be another OPM out there. Like there are just so many OPMs, so many are ahead of you in the game and doing things really right and have automated systems. Don't try to go out there and compete and be another consultant. There are other ways to go about that in this passion, in this career of what we're doing right now. So if you want to talk career, go to dustinhouse.com/pod. I'll give you free 15 minutes and we can talk it through. Happy to do that for anybody out there. So
You
last
guys
week,
should, and you guys should totally do that. Like if you're watching this an hour later, you should do that because you just should.
thank
Just
you,
say,
appreciate it. I'm here to serve, and I'm here to help others out there. One of the course takers that went through my course recently. He lost his job, and now I'm helping him find another one. I take the time for my community if they need help, and I can trust that they do good work, and they got laid off for whatever reason. I'm out there trying to give them my advice on where to go and how to find that next plot. So, last thing I want to talk about is IBA. I don't know what this is, and you
oh yeah,
mentioned it. So I wanted to bring this up, and what is it?
the IAB. So I know that the Interactive Advertising Bureau. I know that we sometimes in the industry we do say a bit that the affiliate marketing world is a bit of a stepchild. It is. The IAB has been around forever, standardizing things, whether it's banner sizes, reporting, so on
Oh,
and so forth. I just the our industry, this industry could use that to elevate it to other digital types of practices because it is here to stay. It ain't going away any place. If you look at every content publisher and their mother, Hearst, others are looking for performance content editors and so on. This isn't going away. The last soapbox statement is the pixel, the day of the pixel. Goodbye, pixel. I'm sorry, Pixel. They're
hmm.
gone. Google and Meta has changed the game. All of the publishers, especially big content sites, are trying to find a way to make their revenue stream in a la affiliate marketing. That's why it's not going to go away. You need these publishers to bring in some type of cash and affiliate marketing, the stuff that this group has been doing for decades, is kind of the answer. Cool. But I would challenge organizations like the IAB to get with it and to look at our industry and look at what the PMA has been doing, look at all the different training tools and what have you, and see if they can incorporate some standardization because it'll elevate the industry and put it on par with other digital marketing practices that many of our clients are already aware of, know, and use. So I think affiliate could use some of that polish and that elevation to match everyone else, as it's really one of the hottest sectors right now in e-com that's growing.
Beautiful. And IAB is doing this kind of thing in their own world, and where you're looking for affiliate to like emulate with this kind of thing.
Or IAB should like bring affiliate in,
Okay.
or look at the affiliate channel and say, oh, okay, so we have standardizations for banner reporting, traffic, clicks, and so on. Take a look at the affiliate marketing channel and see, okay, is there some standardization that we can help or
Hmm.
look at and bring it into the fold? Because it seems like every digital marketing person or even advertising person, marketing executive, they know what the IAB is, but they may not understand that there's an opportunity for affiliate, depending on what needs to be done to get kind of that credence and that awareness within the organization to at least recognize it.
Great. Great. Awesome. That's all we've got for today. Join me on Thursday where I'm having a one of a kind opportunity where I am inviting everyone to the show. If you want to sit
Oh,
in a Blugitsa's seat right here, I am inviting everybody. I'm bringing them on for 2 to 3 minutes, and you can either ask a question or just nerd about something in particular. I'll ask the questions. But please join us there. You can find the link in the chat following this presentation. Bluggies, appreciate your time here today. It's so
this
good
was
to nerd out
awesome.
with you.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Dustin. Have an awesome rest of your summer. And don't forget to check out the rest of Dustin's shows.
Thank you so much. You can find it on the blog or Tuesdays and Thursdays. On Thursdays, it's 1 p.m. Pacific time, so be there. All right, folks, go get them. Take care.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.